If you've ever opened up your laptop in the morning and looked at an inbox of 300 messages and then looked at your to-do list and you have 20 things on there that you have to get done, including 3 time-sensitive reports, plus a calendar full of meetings, and then felt a literal weight on your chest. Then at the end of the day, you try to leave work and wrap up for the day, but you have 15 open tabs of half-done tasks on your computer, and you don't want to close them because they're still in process. That is not just being busy. That is your brain hitting a biological wall. And that has been my life. I recently triaged my inbox from 300 emails down to 12. And I'm telling you, the shift in my physiology was instant. So today I'm going to tell you what the neuroscience is and why this digital and mental clutter is killing your productivity. And then I'm going to give you my 5 hacks to reclaim your brain and reclaim your day. Before I give you the hacks, you need to understand why your brain is screaming at you. There are 3 scientific laws at play here. Number 1, the Zeigarnik effect. Every unread email or item on your to-do list is an open loop. So your brain is running every single open loop in the background of your head. It's like running 300 apps on your computer. This is draining your mental RAM, and it's draining it before you even start your day. Number 2, the scientific law of cognitive overload. Our brains are wired to handle only 3 to 5 tasks at a time. So when we are staring at a to-do list of 20 things and we have 15 open tabs on our computer, the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is the part that makes decisions, goes into overdrive. So you aren't working at that time, you're surviving. Number 3, visual crowding. The research shows that clutter competes for our attention. Seeing a screen full of tabs creates a constant low-grade cortisol spike. Our brains are literally in the fight or flight mode even before the day really starts. But if you're sitting there thinking, okay, that's exactly how I feel, but I can't just delete my to-do list or skip my meetings, I hear you. The reality is that this job is not going to change, but the way that your brain processes it can. So while we may not be able to reduce the workload realistically, we can reduce the cognitive tax that you pay while you're doing it. This training is going to show you 5 hacks to reduce your cognitive load while still completing everything that you need to do. And I'm going to show you how I went from drowning in 300 emails and a full screen of cluttered tabs to a streamlined system of just 12 emails and 3 to-do items. Hack number 1, email triage. If you open up your email and there are just too many to manage, we're going to triage them. This is going to help you move even from 300 emails to 12 emails in 10 minutes. When you sit down, you are going to identify how much time do I have to spend in my inbox right now. And then as you are going through your emails, you're going to decide, is this something that I've got time to deal with now or not? If it's not an actionable item in the time that you have available right now, we're going to snooze it. We're going to get it out of our mental space so that you can close the loop so that your brain can stop monitoring it in the back of your head. This is a picture of my inbox before this process. And then this is a picture of my inbox after. Let me show you how I did this. This is what this looks like. When I get an email, I first identify, can I respond and complete this? And if I can, then I leave it. If I know that I can't or it's not important, I either delete it or I archive it. Like I'm going to delete this. Not important. If I do need to attend to it, like for example, here's a class I want to make sure that I check out, but I really don't have time to sign up for it right now. I can open up the email and then I click on this snooze button and identify when will I have time to work on it before the deadline. I know that I will have time to work on this next week, first thing on Monday morning. So I snooze it, and in that second, it is gone from my inbox. So I can do that with every email that I have. If I have got time to respond, then I respond. If it's something I deal with later, then identify how much later. When do I have time? If it's not something that needs to be done within the next week or even within the next month, then I will put it off until a later time when I know that I will have the mental capacity to wrap my brain around it. For example, this summer, I know I have a lot more free time this summer. So I just snooze it until the month of July. And that is how I went from over 300 emails to less than 5. Hack number 2, I call tab bundling. This is my challenge because I go from student to student and project to project, and sometimes I run out of time because I haven't completed whatever I'm working on when it's time for me to move on to the next thing. For example, maybe I'm working with a student on a lesson or a report, and it's time for me to move on to the next thing. But I'm not done with whatever it was that I started working on. So then I have an open tab. It's time for me to move on to the next thing, and the whole process starts over again. And this is how I can end up easily with 14 or 20 tabs open all at the same time. Then I get stressed out about closing the tabs because they're not done yet, and I'm afraid that I will forget about them. This is where tab bundling comes in so handy. Chrome has got this great feature. Let me show you how this works. For every tab that you have open, you double click on it, then it allows you to create a tab group. When you click on it, you have got some options that pop up in the menu. Then you click to add to a tab group, and you can add it to any of the groups that you have open, or you can create a new group. This was a lesson that I was working on with a student. I've got some reports open for the student, and I've got some dictation notes that I've got open with the student, and then I've got my lesson plans. I'm going to create a group that's specific towards the work that I do with the student. I'll create a new group, and then I put student initials on here, and then everything that has to do with that student that I'm working on, I will just slide to this group. This is my lesson plan. I've got some reports, and I will just slide them in, and then I can close up the tab and it will hide those tabs. In this tab group are all the things that I'm working on. I don't want to get rid of them. I want to keep them accessible to myself, but I don't need them all the time. I put them in this group, and then I can close it, and I can remove it from my entire tab bar by closing the group. Now it gets tucked into my desktop, and the mental clutter is completely gone. When I've got the time to open it up, then I can open it up and all of my tabs are right there and available to me. Hack number 3, session summaries and the AI power report. When you are dealing with a caseload of multiple individuals, then you have a massive mental load. At the end of a session, don't just walk away. Find a way to write a summary so that you can close that loop on that student. I use AI to take my notes and immediately generate a summary or a report from them, which is fantastic for when I need to do progress reports or even IEPs. Anytime I'm finished with a student, I will take out my dictation device, which is my phone, and I will quickly just summarize what happened within that student session. Now, I like to use otter.ai, but you could also use Google Keep or one of many AI dictation services. Now, when I use Otter, I open up the app and there's a little record button on it, and I click the microphone button, and then I state the student initials and the date, or maybe just the student first name. I make sure that I'm covered for any type of FERPA concerns because not everything is FERPA compliant. In order to protect myself, I never use the first and last name or their school. That would be identifying information. Then I push the record button, and then I give a summary of how the session went and any data that I collected. And then I'm done. That's all I do. And I can do this with all of my students throughout the day. So you'll notice that I've got multiple notes on here from my otter. But what is really fantastic about this is that through the AI section, I can say, summarize my last month with Ted for my progress report. This feature will search for all of my notes and will identify only the ones for this particular student. And Otter will actually come up with my progress report. We'll take all of the data and will create a report for me as needed. So here you go. Here are my goal areas. Here is our activities. And here is the overall trend. I can say, please reduce this to one paragraph, because that's a little much for a progress report. So here's my one paragraph, and it actually has taken the data that I provided in my summary and it has provided it into my notes. Now, I can also say, help me write a present level of performance for my IEP. I love that I don't even have to spell this right. Now, when I do that, then it will actually create that present level of performance that I can literally copy and paste into my IEP. And it even cites where it found the information. You can do the same thing with some other platforms. I know that Google Keep, you can do the same thing. I like Otter. There is a free version of Otter that you can do this with, although it does have some limitations. But this allows me to close the mental loop when it comes to thinking about my students' progress and what is happening. It sends a completion signal to my brain that says that I can stop thinking about that student and then I can move on. But in addition, when it's time for me to sit down and write the reports, I don't need to find any notes. I don't need to do any math. I can literally just ask it to recall the information and help me write the report. Hack number 4, one thing at a time. Multitasking is a myth. It's actually task switching, and it costs you 40% of your productivity. Researchers Dr. David Meyer and Dr. Joshua Rubinstein found that when people shifts between tasks, your whole brain has to reboot its rules for whatever the new task is. And that causes you to lose 40% of your productivity because the brain has to reboot again when you come back to doing whatever it was that you were doing a second ago. For example, your brain has to turn off the report writing rules, vocabulary, syntax, student data, and all of that, and it turns to texting rules, your social context slang, your immediate response when you are in the middle of writing a report and then somebody texts you. For example, if you're in the middle of writing a report and all of a sudden your phone lights up and you notice that you've gotten a text from somebody, then you pick up the phone and you respond to the text. Your brain has just turned off the writing a report rules and it has shifted to the texting rules. Now, this transition, while it feels like it only takes a second, it's not actually instant. Those little micro costs adds up. When your brain is switching back and forth dozens of times, we can lose up to 40% of our productivity trying to get back in the zone. So whatever one thing you are working on, allow yourself to do only that. Flip your phone over so you're not seeing texts that are coming in. Sit away from the door where other people can come in and out and cause a disruption. Do not answer emails or anything else during that time. By focusing on one thing at a time, you will finish much faster and with fewer errors. One hack to protect your flow state is to simply just manage your own line of sight. Neurobiologically, anytime you make eye contact with a person, then that is a trigger for social engagement. So you've essentially sent a silent invitation for them to start a conversation, or maybe a silent invitation for your own self to start a conversation. The way to hack that is to stay out of the line of vision of other people who can interrupt you. By being able to focus on just one thing at a time, you're going to be able to get more things done and check it off your list. When you're finished with it, then allow yourself to check that email or respond to texts. Okay, let's review today's 5 hacks to reclaim your brain and reclaim your day. Hack number 1, email triage. Hack number 2, tab grouping. Hack number 3, session summaries, and AI-powered reports. Hack number 4, one thing at a time. And hack number 5, find a one-stop shop. If you apply even just one of these hacks, your stress levels will drop tomorrow. But when you're facing the end of the year crunch with dozens of students and high stakes reports and time-oriented deadlines, then you need a system that is going to support you and is not going to let you fail. That is exactly what we master inside of the Professional Academy. The Professional Academy from the online Itinerant was created to give you hacks, but not only just give you hacks, to be able to give you the complete framework to support you in your career in working with students who are deaf or hard of hearing so that you can go from that overwhelmed feeling to becoming the high performance leader. If you want more of this, I want to personally invite you to check out the 5-day Professional Academy Challenge. This is a free 5-day challenge that you do on your own time, but it will reduce your overwhelm and it will give you hours back in your day by providing 2 pillars to success. This gives you all the support that you need along the way. Inside the 5-day challenge, you can check out the Audit Proof Goal Bundle, which is the holy grail of curriculum for our DHH students. It is the complete template to get you organized. If you are ready to step out of the feeling of overwhelm and step into the feeling of the expert that you are, check out the Professional Academy today. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more hacks, make sure that you click the subscribe button and then comment below. Let me know that you liked this video and that you want more. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next training.